Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. If you are new here, don't forget to join the family. On this channel, we do reaction videos. And if you are returning, hello, how are you? Let's definitely get into this reaction video where all the tea is definitely spilled. Let's get started.
All right, I'm really trying to hurry up and tell this story. I'm about to go into work in a little bit, but this is basically my story time about how I moved in with my cousin and she turned out to be weird as hell. So let me start off by saying I have to add a couple things in context so y'all can understand some things that I'm about to tell y'all in regards to this story. I'm sick and I sound gross as hell, but first things first, my cousin and I never really met each other, okay? We have been talking for a really long time. We were from the same place, which is in Michigan. She moved out of Michigan before I did, and then I moved to Houston. So we had never met. We had been contacting each other through Facebook, FaceTime, calls, messages, things like that. And just for years, we've been like the best of friends through our phones. So we had never met before, up until I just had my second baby. I had him, and when I left the hospital, like maybe a few days later, I know I wasn't supposed to be out, a few days later, she came for her birthday. My baby was born around the time of her birthday, and I told her if that happened, which we planned on that kind of happening because it was around the day, my delivery was around the day of her birthday, so we knew that if that happened, I would come to her birthday party, and that's where we would meet for the very first time. So I met her that night. We ran around town. We had a good time. We got drunk, whatever. That was a great night. So at this point, I've only met my cousin one time. So sometime after she was planning to move to Houston, she has always been talking about moving, and eventually she made that happen just recently. So I think she's been here maybe almost a month right now, probably not even touching a month, but eventually she moved. Now, this had always been a thing, and she never really got around to moving for real. Sometimes I was part of the plans of moving or whatever, and I wasn't ready, or I was just in situations and I never committed to it, and so she never committed to it. And so recently now she actually moved. When she moved, I was in Virginia. So when I got back to Houston, I was like, oh, hey girl, you really moved? Okay, well, let's commit, like let's move in together. So because when she got here, she was by herself, she signed for a 1-bedroom.
I feel like if you have plans for something and it does not work out and it keep repeatedly not working out, then maybe it's not the time, or maybe it wasn't meant to be.
So when I moved in, the plan was to sign for a 2-bedroom. So that is some of the context that I need y'all to know. We didn't know each other. We just met each other. We moved in with each other. We have a 1-bedroom. All right, now let's get into some of the incidents that happened, and everything is not in order, but I'm just going to tell y'all some of the things that happened that kind of were odd to me. So one of the very first incidents that was odd to me, one morning I was getting ready and I was in the bathroom brushing my hair. So the way that the bathroom door was, it was probably covering me. That's the excuse that I have to make. It was probably covering me and she couldn't see me because she turned the bathroom light off. And while I was in there using the bathroom, no big deal, I turned the light back on. But not only did she do that, the dryer that had my soaking wet clothes in it, for whatever reason, she went and she stopped the dryer. Now, I'm the type of person that when things happen, like by people that I really care for, I make so many excuses for them.
Now, I'm sorry, you know when something's in the dryer. Why would the dryer be on and nothing's in it, knowing that you share an apartment with somebody else? Come on.
This is for them. I tend to make a lot of excuses to figure out why that just happened. So in my head, I'm like, oh, well, I don't know. Maybe she just don't want the light bill to go up. Maybe she just, and I'm making excuses for this girl as to why she just stopped my clothes in the dryer. Not stop my clothes in the dryer to put anything in. Not stop them to whatever. She stopped them and she laid back down in the bed to go scroll on TikTok. And so now at this point, I'm really like, okay. Second incident. This is actually probably the weirdest incident. We went out one night with a friend like chauffeured us, friend drove us, let me use English. Friend drove us, and we went out to this bar. The bar was really fun. We had a really good night. At the end of the night, she met this guy, and they were talking, they were chopping it up, and things sounded good to me. I stood outside the car too, and entertained his little friend a little bit, but I wasn't feeling friend. I was just there because my cousin was there and I'm watching her back. So she's talking to the guy, and I hear them talking about either going to an after hour or just making some plans for after. Me personally, I messed up. I really only got about 1 or 2 spots in me. It's already 2:30 in the morning. I'm probably not going nowhere else. I've had a lot of shots. We were all drinking before we went out, so no, I can't go nowhere else. But yeah, she made plans with guys. So friend who drove us is like, hey y'all, I gotta go. So I'm like, hey, we gotta go, girl. So we go get in the car and he drops us off at home. And from then I pass out on the bed. I don't know, y'all, I'm one of those people who drink. I'm cool when I'm moving around, but once I lay down, once I settle down somewhere, oh, I'm out. You're not waking me up for the rest of the night. So when I passed out on the bed, y'all, I was passed out. And so the next morning when I woke up, she's like, hey, yeah, that guy came over. I'm like, what guy? Yeah, the guy I was talking to outside the club. I said, oh, where did he go? Where y'all go? We got a 1 bedroom, y'all. Where y'all go? And she like, oh, we was on the bed with you.
Oh, hell no. Right then and there, I would have moved the fuck out. Right then and there, it was disrespectful. I would have moved out. Crazy word.
That's not odd. That's not odd. Alright. Her and the dude was on the bed with me, and she said that, well, I just want him to come over and watch Love Island, and but he was trying to, y'all know what, and she wasn't with that, so she put him out. And so cool.
Girl, stop lying. Stop. Okay.
Kudos to her, whatever, like, you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, no man that you just met outside the club is gonna come over at 3, 4, 5, whatever in the morning to watch Love Island with you. Like, at some point we do have to be fucking for real, you feel me? Like, that's not gonna happen. And so you surprised that that's what this man wanted, and you shouldn't be. And I'm on the other end of the bed. I wore a dress that night. I never wear dresses, but I wore a dress that night. And so me being passed out and sleep how I know I sleep when I'm drunk, I don't know how I'm sleeping. I don't know how wild I am. I don't know if my dress is up. I don't know if he already trying to make moves on you. Who's to say he's not gonna make moves on the drunk bitch if you walk out the room or whatever? Y'all know what I'm saying? Like, and again, another situation I should have addressed, but I never addressed. Like, so my biggest problem sometimes is letting too much disrespect pass. And I'd never want to say I'm the problem, because nobody wants to say they're the problem. But then at that point, I was the problem, because I'm allowing you to say and do these weird things, and I am not speaking up about anything. So that's my fault. I should have spoke up. Now, another situation was when okay, we went out to a place. We met at one spot. And when we met at that spot, she was pointing out one guy in the section who she was telling me was like her type. She liked like how he was built, like his build and everything. She would just kept on mentioning that was his type. And there was another guy who was his friend, and he was also in the section, and he ended up kind of like pursuing her. You know, we moved to another location. He gave her like ones to throw at the strip club. He was buying stuff for her, buying stuff for me to like show her that, you know what I'm saying, like buying stuff for me too. And at that strip club when we was there, y'all, I remember at one point they had snuck off, and she came back to me and she was like, I just kissed him 3 times. Do you think I should have kissed him? And me, y'all, I'm a real germaphobe.
What is with her just meeting people and bring them back to the house and kissing them the first night? Like, this is the pattern.
You feel me? I'm barely holding a nigga hand. So kissed them, but that's none of my business, so I'm not gonna shame you for that. If that's what you do, that's what you do in the club. But I'm a cool girl. You asking me if you should have did it, I'm not gonna say you should have, and I'm not gonna say you shouldn't have, because that's none of my business and they're not my lips. But no, you shouldn't have. I wouldn't have, but that's me. And then, you know, but when we left the club and everything, we were just talking, and she was, they posted up outside the car. While I was sitting in the car, I was waiting for them to get done talking. She got in the car, and I just started talking. Now, one problem I also do have is I don't know how to shut the hell up. I'm a very opinionated person, and I throw it out to everybody, but I genuinely mean no harm. sometimes I don't read the cues and I just be talking. But
Don't worry, girl. I'm the same.
I was just like, ha, like, that's funny because I the friend was the one who was your type, but his friend is the one that pursued you. And in my head, it was just like, I feel like a girl has to like a man more. And so to me, it just, I don't know if I felt like maybe she didn't like him as much as he liked her, or if it was just gonna be like a transactional thing where he just gave her money to throw, or he just bought this, bought that. Like you always got like a man who does this, does that, but you don't pursue him. And maybe that's where I just felt like it was gonna end with him. So and I also told her, all I said was, I said, and also make sure you have a little bit of discernment with these men from Houston, because everybody who got the Amiri jeans on and the Balenciaga shoes and all this shit, like in the nice ass car, they don't be shit. And these men in Houston will make you feel like they are, and they're absolutely not. So I also said, have discernment with the men that you are choosing to speak to, because everything not as good as it looks. So some things are too good to be true. So just have discernment, y'all. That's all I told the girl. I'm gonna have a part 2. Hold on. Okay, let me tell part 2 before I get jumped. Some other things happened. Y'all, I'm really trying to get over the situation, so I really don't feel like doing this. But some other things happened. The in-betweens is, she religiously would stay connected to the sound bar. I have 2 children. I would put the kids to sleep. She would connect to the sound bar. She would wake them up. She would also wake me up. She would also be on the sound bar or just max volume on her phone at any times in the morning. Whether I was sleeping, the kids were sleeping, it didn't matter.
She was over with living with you. You can tell because she was doing little things that she thought would cause you to like want to leave or move out.
Another incident was, I had my birthday party at the pool at the apartment complex. So I invited a few friends. There was guys, there was girls. So at some point during the party, we were having a conversation, and I'm having the conversation mostly with guys. She's over talking to my 2 best friends who are girls. So the conversation that I'm having with the guys is about the origin of black people. If you know me, then you know that's right up my alley. That's exactly what I want to talk about. The girls are talking about Drake. No shade at all, but I don't listen to Drake and I don't talk to Drake, so I don't listen to Drake, and I don't know nothing about Drake, so I don't want to talk about that. I listen to Summer Walker, y'all. I listen to Luther Vandross. I listen to, I don't listen to that, so I don't care. I'm in this conversation, and 2 of the guys start getting very serious. And so at this point, like, they're about to fight. And so mind y'all, we had a Karen come out and tell us that she's gonna call the police on us if we get any louder. So we already on thin ice, and I'm just telling them to chill. So I'm like pulling them apart.
Was it really a Karen, or was y'all just too damn loud?
And she comes over to me and she's like, no, you need to let one of the guys break them up. You need to let one of the guys do that. And I understand that. I genuinely do. But none of the guys were handling it. None of the guys were getting in the middle of it. And like I said, I'm just trying to keep my little party going. So after she snatches away from me, she turns to my best friends and she's like, she just want to be in the boys' business. Anyways, last situation, context. So recently I totaled my car, and I was given a point A to point B car. So it's a hoopty. You feel me? It's a hoopty, but it's like a hoopty. And so it gets me to work, it gets my kids around, it does all of that. So I'm grateful for it. You know what I'm saying? Got AC and everything. We in Houston, I'm grateful for it. But do I want to pull up to the club in it? Absolutely not. So I'm not gonna lie, most of the time, like all the functions and everything we go to, we do pull up in her car. And I said, like if I had my car, I would have no issue. Like I'll be the chauffeur around this. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the chauffeur. But not the hoopty. I don't know. And then mind y'all, I'm already driving to work every day. At this point, she moved here and she saved enough money or whatever to be able to support herself until she found a job. But at this point, she don't have a job either. So it's like, so what if I get off work and you drive us to the club if you want to go? Like if we want to go, because you not even going nowhere during the day. Like I'm the one that's working. I'm going to work every day. I pick up my kids, or like, you know what I'm saying? So what? So I was invited out to come to a club, and I was told that I could come at 10:30, and then there was a function after that at 12:30. So I got to work at 7. The guy texted me last minute and he said, hey, can you be ready at 8:15? I was like, yeah. I'm lying, y'all. I'm delusional. So once I get out the shower, I'm like, I can't be ready by no 8:15. And so I let him know that. And I'm like, I'll be at one of the later ones. Knowing I'm not going to go to the later ones for real because I'm not pulling up in the hoopty. The plan for it originally was only 10:30. The 8:15 plan he had was thrown in last minute. So at 10:30, I was supposed to be driving to him to drive to the club with him, not in the car. And even then, I was probably finna park far and walk. I was gonna park somewhere and Uber. And y'all, I don't care how shallow that sounds. I'm sorry, I'm adjusting, but I'm grateful, and I'm not trying to brag or anything. I have genuinely always had a nice car, like, so I'm just not adjusted to driving no hoopty. So I'm laid out, I'm scrolling on TikTok and everything, because I'm not gonna go. And then about an hour later, she starts insinuating that she wants to go, and she's getting ready. She's doing her makeup, she's getting ready. So I'm getting ready and everything, because it's like, okay, well, I'm assuming that we're gonna take her car, because she knows that I don't take my car.
I feel like one thing you definitely don't do is move in with people, or like y'all move in together, because roommate situations can get out of hand, out of control. But I also feel like it's a little too much when I can see 2 roommates, but 2 roommates and one roommate have kids but the other one don't, is gonna be a lot of conflict. And I also can see like a 1-bedroom will definitely strike out all kinds of drama. Like a 1-bedroom with 2 children, yeah, it's just crazy work.
My car to functions like that. So we get ready and everything, and we sit on the bed. We about to grab the keys and go. She's like, can we take your car? I'm like, you know I don't want to take my car. And she's like, I really don't want to drive. And I'm like, you know I don't want to take my car. And she like, I need an oil change. And I'm like, I don't know what you want to do though. I don't know what you want to do then. And she like, well, we could just drive your car and we could park far and we can walk. And I'm like, we already dressed or whatever. Let's go. So we make it there. Our plan was I was going to drive there. She was going to drive back. So we make it there. We make it to the club. We have fun in the club. We come out the club. It's her turn to drive. When we walked out the club, we had got invited to go to, the guy who invited me, he invited us to come to his place after. This was not no function. You feel me? The guy is with a female who likes females and she's masculine, because I don't know the title for that. So, and I don't want to disrespect nobody. And my cousin's not attracted to that. So at this point, it's finna be like a 2-man, but not a 2-man, because the woman who's masculine, you know, y'all feel me? Like, he really just invited me. And so I'm already in my head, like, I'm cool. So we make it to the car, and I'm starting to let her know I'm cool, I don't want to go. And she's just rambling. And I'm like, she's rambling about, oh, who cares? Like, you a girl, you don't want to have a nice car. I will just say it's my car. We're going to park far. We're going to whatever. Who gives a fuck about a car? Going on. And I'm like, I don't want to go. I've had a good time in the club. I don't want to go. I'm cool. So she just kept going on. And I ended up raising my voice, and I yelled her name, and I said, I don't want to go. And so she paused, and she looks at me, and she's like, but you don't gotta yell at me. But baby, I do, because you just going on and on and on. And you would never be in a position where you tell me you uncomfortable and I keep on convincing you to do exactly what's making you uncomfortable. You feel me? Like, I would never put her in that position. So the fact that I've already said I don't want to go and I'm uncomfortable and I would rather go home, and you still trying to convince me to pull up, and I'm telling you I'm cool, that's irritating me, because I would never do that to you.
I'm confused, because it's like she was thinking about her cousin, because she was like, oh, I know she don't like studs, like I know she don't like that, and plus I'm over it anyway, so like let's just go. But then it just given like the cousin was on that, like she do like studs, like she wanted to, like at this point, go with them, like, so I don't know, like I understand though, you keep saying it and saying it when I'm saying like let's go, trying to make it seem like I'm the bad one, like just get in the fucking car, let's go home.
So she gets out the car, she runs around to the passenger side of the car where I'm sitting. She flings my door open and she's like, okay, well, you go drive. Go get out the fucking car, you go drive. You go get in the driver's seat, you drive since you don't want to go, since you yelling at people and everything. And my job, while she doing all this, I'm sitting here scrolling on my phone, scrolling on TikTok, because I'm a crash out too, and I'm a lot more sober than you are, and we not gonna take it there. Like, and I looked at her and I said, well, now you the one yelling. And she said, yeah, because you yelling at me. Okay, two wrongs don't make a right, but I did raise my voice, so I get it. And after a while, she stormed off. She left off back toward the club. So I do go over into the driver's seat. And because I'm like, okay, well, I got to go get her now. I crank up the car, y'all. The car dead. I left the lights on with something in the car dead. So I get out the car and I go to see where she went. So I walk up to her and I'm like, I just want to let you know that the car is dead, the battery is dead. And I also said, cause I'm not trying to argue with you. Like, I'm not trying to fight with you. And she's like, you are trying to argue with me. You are trying to fight with me. And I absolutely think that this would have went way different if we were sober. But she's like, you are trying to argue with me. She said, well, I'm gonna get an Uber. I'm just gonna go. So whatever. This is where I was wrong. She was trying to walk away and I was walking behind her and I'm like, Kaya, I just want to talk about the situation. And I'm steady telling her, I'm like, I just want to talk about the situation. Like, can we talk? And I'm walking behind her. And so she's like turning around and she's like, Felicia, shut the fuck up. Like, shut the fuck, just stop talking to me. Get the fuck away from me. And she's turning around and she's pushing me. Once again, y'all.
I kind of think that was good that she was following her, but like kept going on about it to keep an argument up. Like, it definitely wasn't good, because you could have stopped following her and she could have left and something happened to her and you didn't even know where she went.
Yeah, y'all. whatever. But I'm like, okay, cool. Her Uber showed up and I asked Uber, I said, sir, do you have jumper cables in your car? And he like, no, I don't got no cables. And he said, but I do have some at home. I don't know where this man lives. I don't know how far he is. I don't know. At this point, I'm like, I'm about to call my baby daddy so he can call AAA for me. But she like, no, she's just gonna have to stand here and wait because I said so. Popping her shit from the backseat of the Uber. And then they pulled off so they can go get the cable. So now here I am standing in the middle of Houston by myself.
Wait, that Uber driver was a little too extra, because like, no, I came to get y'all and take y'all where y'all needed to go. Now, jumper cables I don't have, but I'm not going to my house. Like, And
I'm like, okay, whatever. So long story short, I end up leaving. I'm getting an Uber home. She calls and she's like, oh, I'm on the way back with the Uber. Okay, well, I already left because you left me in the middle of Houston. The car doors are not locking. The homeless people walking around. And I'm not finna stand up there by myself because I'm 5'2" and I'm 100 pounds soaking wet. What do I look like? And, like, be for real. Come on now. And I'm about to have part. Okay, last part. Okay, so like I said, I'm getting the Uber home. She calls and she's with the Uber and she's like, hey, we about to pull up. Where you at? Girl, I'm gone because I'm standing outside by myself again. Whatever. So
now the standing outside part definitely wouldn't. I know the doors didn't lock on the vehicle, but I would have definitely been in the inside knowing that my cousin coming back. But some people do panic, and she had been drinking. You never know if somebody walk up and try to open the door. Like, so she definitely panicked.
I also let her know, I said I'm headed to the house. Y'all, so the little bit of time that we've stayed here, I have never had no house key. Like apartment key. I never had no copy of the key to the apartment. She never gave me one. And she had one for a while. I don't know how long, but she had one. Now, mind y'all, again, I have 2 kids. When I carry my kids up, I carry my smallest baby, he's 6 months. I carry him in a car seat every time. I got a Duna. If y'all know Dunas, they heavy. So I carry him in the car seat. I got my other baby, I'm guiding him up the stairs. I got my 2-year-old's backpack. I always got my baby's diaper bag, and I got my purse. I be having a lot of stuff in my hand. And sometimes I gotta stop at a grocery store. I got groceries on top of that because I'm only making one trip. And we make it to the top, and I have to knock on the door and everything, or I have to put everything down so I can get my phone and call her, versus being able to take a key out and unlock the door. I always have to call or have my son knock on the door or something, or me put everything down so I can knock on the door. And now we gotta wait for her to come to the door because she was sleeping or she was in the shower or whatever else. I don't have no complaints about any of, you know, her being in the shower or her being asleep. I don't have no complaints about that. But it's just like, if you had that copy of the key and you know that this is all what I have to go through, why would you not give me a copy? All this time,
we both should have had a copy. So at this point, she really did not want to roommate with you. She didn't. So I don't even understand how it got to the point where y'all both moved in together.
I'm thinking that she's making one. So eventually I went to go make one, but that never happened, and I'm gonna get to that later. But yeah, so I'm calling her because I have no key to get in, and it's 4 in the morning. I made it to the house at 4:30 in the morning. She keeps on calling me from the guy that she's with, and she's like, we dropping somebody off, we 10 minutes away. We dropping somebody off and then we 10 minutes away. And she called me about 2 or 3 times and said that. Y'all, she made it at 5:45 in the morning. So I just sat outside for an hour and 15 minutes. And when she pulls up with the guy that she was in the car with.
Ma'am, respectfully, what was you doing with that Uber driver? Stop playing.
That she was in the car with, she gets out, you know, like they hug and they saying their goodbyes and everything. We live by the leasing office. So I know you see me sitting on the steps like this. I know you see me sitting on the steps. So come on. Like, I've been out here an hour. So, but again, go have your fun. I'm not rushing nobody. You just telling me you're gonna be here in 10 minutes, so I'm expecting 10 minutes. You better off saying, oh, it's gonna be about an hour, so I can sit on these steps and prepare my mind for an hour. You feel me? Versus 10 minutes. So she walks inside the house. I walk inside the house. We go to bed. That's that. It was a lot of tension. We went to bed. I think that was a smart thing to do. Next morning, mind y'all, my car is still downtown. The battery was dead. So I asked her, I'm like, hey, are you able to take me to my car? And she's like, right now, mind y'all, I gotta be at work. I woke up at 9 to do this. I had to be at work at 12. So she's like, right now? And I'm like, yeah, like if you don't mind, like if you could. And she's like, oh, well, I never went to go get the oil or anything from my car, so I still need oil in my car. I said, well, most gas stations have a quart of oil. We can at least stop right now and get a quart. And she just looks, and she just lays her head back down. Never acknowledged anything else. So we got a homeboy who stayed 4 minutes away. I call homeboy, and I'm like, hey, I really hope you're not headed to work right now. I really need you to take me to my car because I have to get to work. Homeboy picks me up. Homeboy takes me to my car. He took me to get cables to jump it. He jumped my car, and I was able to get to work. When I got home from work that day, that's when I walked in and I asked for the keys so I can go make a copy. But when I got there, yes, baby, my hair looks a mess. Where am I? I went to go make a copy of the key, but I wasn't able to make a copy because I did not have exact cash for the little key machine at Walmart. I needed exact cash, or I needed a card. I didn't have nothing on my car. I only had cash. I keep cash. I get paid in cash. I didn't have nothing on my car. So I set the key and I went back to the apartment. And so when I walked in, I said, okay, I'm gonna let you go and then I'll go, because when we speak at once and we talk over each other, it does not work. So we sit down and we're trying to resolve everything, and we're trying to go over everything that happened the previous night. So what she is not understanding is that my whole point is, baby, once I say I'm uncomfortable, love, I don't want to go, you know, like, it really should have been dead. I understand everything that you're saying, but let's talk about it later, because I don't want to go to so-and-so house. I'm ready to go. Like, I want to go. And that's what she really not grasping onto, because I'm like, you're trying to convince me to go to this next plan, the function, and she not like understanding that it really ain't about the next function. I'm like, whether we going to McDonald's, whether we going to Whataburger, whether we going, it don't matter. Like, you trying to convince me to go somewhere I don't want to go, and that's the whole point. It don't matter. Take the nigga house out of it. You trying to get me to go somewhere I don't want to go. I'm uncomfortable and I don't want to ride in the car. Like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. We could make other plans. We could have Ubered there. We could have did whatever. That was never suggested. And like I said, I just didn't want to go because I knew the plan was stupid anyway. So, yeah. And it ends horribly. We both start arguing and everything. And she's like, you know, it's just not going to work. Can you go get my key? And I did accidentally leave the key out in the car. So I'm like, okay, well, let me go get the key. I'm walking to my car to go get the key. She trailing right behind me. I'm looking back. I'm like,
okay, here you go. Now she following behind you. Just just too much.
I'm like, you ain't gotta follow me to my car. Like, what you following me to the car for? I mean, trailing right behind me on the phone with her sister, trying to, like, act like she's not following me to my car. And every time I say you don't have to follow me, she like, oh, no, I'm just coming to get the keys. I understand you coming to get the keys. You don't have to follow me to my car because I'm about to go get them and I'm about to come right back up to the apartment. You don't gotta come follow me to my car. So I get to the car. I'm at the car and I'm taking off the copy that she always had. So even when I went to go make this copy of the key, y'all, I didn't know that this was the exact same key. I didn't know that. So I'm making a copy. It's already a copy on there. So she already had a key. She never gave it to me. So I'm taking it off the ring because she had just told me during the argument that she did have a key. So I'm taking it off the ring. She runs around to my side of the car. She's like, no. And now she's wrestling the key from me, y'all. Putting her hands on me once again. And so she takes her sharp ass acrylic, digs it into my palm, still didn't get the key, but digs it into my palm and snatches away and realizes she got one key. And she's like, no, what the fuck? And now she's, trying to get the other key from me. Bro, why are you putting your hands on me? And later on, she was complaining that I broke her nail. I didn't break your nail. You dug your acrylic into my hand. Why are you putting your hands on me over a key that I should have been had? Like, are you for real? So we get back up to the apartment, and when we make it back up to the apartment, I'm not gonna lie, she started calling the police. She called the police on me, and she told the police, she said, I have somebody in my apartment that I don't want here and I need them removed. Basically telling the police that. Now I'm telling her also that she's wasting these people's time because in the state of Texas, she just moved from Missouri. I said, baby, this is not Missouri. So in the state of Texas, they're not going to do anything. And I'm just letting you know right now, they're not going to do nothing. I've been in this situation before because not been in it, but I witnessed this situation before between two friends. And I was just so thrown because the police would not remove the girl. And we all like, what the hell? But in the state of Texas, if they even got a pair of shoes there, and they've been there over 7 days, they reside there. So they don't do nothing. And I'm saying this. So whatever, the police show up, I'm telling the police everything. Homeboy shows up because not my job, but this night I was supposed to be going to a birthday party. So the police come. Y'all, the police was like, yeah, we can't do nothing. Basically, this is petty girl stuff. It's a civil matter and we about to leave because we don't want to be in the middle of it. And I said, I told you. Like, and not even to be like that, but I told you. We could settle this ourselves. You calling the police for what? Mind y'all, when they get there, this is totally unrelated. But y'all, I am adopted. This is my adopted cousin technically, but I don't refer to none of my family like that. So when the police get there, they're like, and how are you two related? She's like, this is my foster cousin. You ain't never in your life called me my foster cousin, to my knowledge. But you're trying to make it seem like to these people that I'm really not that related to you, like I'm distantly related to you, and we, like, come on now, y'all, like, that's weird. She also was telling the police that my kids don't live there and they don't stay there and we don't, bro, just lying. So, long story short, we kind of got everything calmed down. Whatever. Friend was the one who got everything calmed down after the police left. I went out to the birthday party with Friend. I came back home. My stuff was put in bags and stuff and put in front of the front door. So she had packed all my stuff and put it in front of the front door. She had a guy there who she said was her brother. And brother was there. Auntie showed up. Auntie's daughter showed up with her. It's 4 people. It's one of me. So I guess kick me out. Auntie is pulling up and she like, let me get the key. While she's asking me for the key, she's on the phone with her mama. She hands up her phone to me for me to talk to her mama. I said, respectfully, y'all already got her side, and I know you got your mind made up, so it's really nothing for me to say. And y'all, I'm gonna just have to wrap it up. That's what it is. I ended up getting my stuff. I moved and whatever. But that's how that all happened. If y'all got questions, I'm gonna answer it later. I don't got time, for real.
What I don't understand is why be petty? Why be petty? Oh, that's my foster cousin. Bitch, no. Just say it's your... See, them foster families, they be on some bullshit. They be definitely on some bullshit. Like, girl, let's not do all that. I feel like from the jump, the 1-bedroom situation, but from the jump, this whole roommate thing was going to be a failure because she had 2 kids and then this girl did not have any kids, and it seemed like all she wanted to do was party because she didn't even work. She saved up enough money to move there, but she didn't want to work. All she wanted to do was party. So their lifestyles were 2 different type of lifestyles. Like, This one have kids, has a job, and this one don't. Wrong type of situation to move in with. As well as if she did have children and wrong. Just moving on. When you have kids, live on your own. The roommate ordeal is over with. It's no more. Like, get an apartment by yourself. The 1-bedroom apartment just totally threw me off. Because, girl, why you getting a 1-bedroom when it's not only 2 of us, but I have my children, which makes 4 of us. Then you walking around like you the only one paying bills, turning off the dryers, cutting the bathroom light off while I'm still in the bathroom. Like, you just doing too much. From the jump, like, it was so many red flags when she went into this situation. It was so many red flags. The first one for me is it was her foster cousin. And a lot of times people say, blood ain't thicker than water no more. Sometimes it's the strangers. No, baby, it's all of them. Because, like, foster family members definitely don't feel like, especially when they mad, you real family. And they will toss you to the curb like a piece of trash, like y'all didn't grow up together. That was definitely shade. That was definitely weird. And what got me is you said that your cousin didn't like studs, but yet y'all into this heated argument because you want to go home, but she want to go hang out with the stud in the guy that you said you didn't want to put your cousin in a crazy situation like that, right? So obviously it's something about her you definitely don't know. But what's real crazy is y'all both didn't really know how each other living situations would be, because y'all had just not too long ago met each other face to face. Even though y'all was talking on the phone and everything, you really don't get the feel of who a person is, like they say, until you really move with them and see what type of bullshit they really be on. But I just feel like I'm happy you did get out this situation. Of course your bags was packed at the door, but you chose to be a bigger person and just leave the whole messy situation. Because, baby, if it was me, why you got my bags packed at the fucking door? You heard what the police said. You can't fucking put me out. And I would have called 911 so motherfucking quick. Because who you putting out at this time of motherfucking night? Who? Not me? I'm just happy that you was the adult in this situation and decided to put your children in a better situation than this type of fucking drama. Like, there's no way that y'all should have even moved in with each other. No way. Y'all drop down in the comment section what you think about this story. I think I think she had red flags from the jump. But drop down your opinion of this story. Don't forget to check out my descriptions with my digital planners and journals, and also my Amazon journals and planners. The links are in the description. You guys, I really appreciate you guys for returning and watching my videos. And if you are new here, subscribe to this channel and join the family. You guys, I hope you all have a blessed day. Peace.